Hello everybody, Assassionator here with Xbox Catchup, where I catch you up on any and all things happening with Xbox. So we'll start with the headlines since that is the main reason why you're here. I won't have you sit through to the end of the video like other people do, and obviously the headline is going to be what I basically made the thumbnail about, which is winning an Xbox Series console. So I have info on how to win 4 different themed Xbox consoles. The first is the Thor Love and War Mjolnir themed Xbox Series X. So the Mjolnir is obviously the hammer that Thor uses, and I mean this thing looks amazing. This one would be the Xbox that I would love to win out of all of them. I enter to win them all, but this one would be the one that I would actually prefer to win if possible. So the Xbox Series X has been marketed as the world's most powerful system. Well, now it looks that part. You can enter to win this console in a sweepstakes which ends on July 21st. So not that much longer from when this video goes out. You will basically have to go on Twitter, like, retweet, and obviously use a hashtag. That's usually the way that they have these things set up. But I will leave a link to that tweet, so you go ahead and do that for yourself, and hopefully you win it. If you do, let me know in the comments. Maybe send me some images. This would be a really cool one to see. Now moving on to the next, there is also a Disney Rise themed Xbox Series S bundle available to win in the sweepstakes. Now Rise looks like, I think it's like a true story of a basketball player. That's what it looked like to me when I watched the previews for it. I actually haven't watched the actual episode or the movie, whatever it is, on Disney Plus. But what you're gonna get is a custom themed Xbox Series S, a Rise themed Xbox Series controller, a headset, and an attachable screen so you go in and play when you're away from your TV, and it looks like one of those X screens, so that's pretty good value right there. All stored in a custom carrying case. Now, you can enter to win this console by July 28th, and it's kind of the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and leave a link to this sweepstakes, so you go ahead and enter it for yourself, but it's the same as the Thor one also. Now the third console available to win is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge themed Xbox Series X. The bottom of the systems looks like Shredder's busting out. It's kind of, they made it a little bit 3D. I mean, Shredder for the most part is 2D, but then, his fists with the claw and along with the bricks flying out. I mean, this one looks cool. It's a work of art. I mean, all these amazing looking consoles, and they're all locked behind sweepstakes. I know there are plenty of people who would buy these if they actually came out for people to purchase, including myself. Again, I will leave a link in the descriptions. So the fourth and last custom Xbox available to win is the Ascendant Lord Xbox Series S, which is inspired by the Elder Scrolls Online DLC expansion. It looks to be a custom console, controller, and headphone set. I don't really know a whole lot about Elder Scrolls Online, so therefore I can't really say too much about it. Obviously it's a great game that they keep on expanding, but I just haven't gotten around to actually putting the time in it since I have so many other games on my back catalog. But again, I'll go ahead and leave info in the description of this video, and this will be the last time I talk about leaving info in the description of this video. It's too repetitive there. I want to go ahead and move on, and I go ahead and I leave a lot of links in the description of the video for most of the topics I'll be covering in this video. So go ahead and check those out if you're interested. So Xbox announced recently that September will be the last month they include Xbox 360 games in with the Games of Gold subscription. The reason being that Xbox has brought us as many games to the program as they could. That's basically what they're saying. I'm okay with it because most of the games I don't really play when they hit Games with Gold, even if they're really good ones, because I probably already purchased them, I probably already played through them, and I try not to go back and play games that I've already played unless they do something big with it, expansions or things like that. Or it's been a really long time. Like, I've always went back to games like Mega Man X on the SNES whenever it released for newer systems, just because that was one of my childhood memories that it's a great, amazing game. I hope this means that they'll be giving us still 4 games and they'll be the Xbox One games. I hope they don't take it down to like 2 games now. That would actually kind of suck, but at the same time, I'm good with whatever they give us as long as they're giving me games, because even though I don't play the games that they give us, I do like the thought of getting those free games, and that's probably a lot of people's sentiments. I don't see a whole lot of people jazzed about the games that come to Games with Gold, because like I said, a lot of people have already played them or they already own them. Next up is an acquisition of Supermassive Games. They were acquired by Nordisk Games. Now, Supermassive Games are the development team behind Until Dawn and the more recently released The Quarry. Nordigame also owns other developers like Avalanche Studios, who created the hit franchise Just Cause. Again, another great game there. A whole lot of crazy fun, things that you can do. I mean, that game right there is another great game. If you have not checked it out, you really should. Now, I don't see any negatives with this purchase. Most likely, the games will continue being released on all platforms, so therefore it doesn't hurt Xbox or the ecosystem, the main ecosystem that I play on. So therefore, I'm okay with it. Nothing bad to say about it. Just wanted to make sure to bring it to your attention. Now we have a couple topics on sales numbers. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge has also sold over 1 million copies in the first week of release, and that is with it releasing day one into Game Pass. I'm pretty sure word of mouth has helped this game achieve the sales, and it's showing that gamers still enjoy beat 'em up games. Because we have games like Streets of Rage and River City Girls that are big examples showing that beat 'em up genre still has a good size following. Now, I personally just wish Battletoads would have had online co-op. It might have helped the game, since I and a lot of other people were basically excited for this game until we realized it was only couch co-op. I'm an adult, so therefore I don't have my family to actually play with in my house. I actually can only do that if it's online. So therefore, I hope maybe Xbox learns from this, and their next Battletoads game, if they even attempt one, which I feel they should, they actually make it online. But congrats to .emu on not only having an amazing game, but a game that sells great. And since we're talking about sales, I'll mention that Resident Evil 2 Remake has surpassed 10 million units sold. Now, it is Capcom's third best selling game right now, right behind Monster Hunter's World and Resident Evil 7. This game, in my opinion, is the best Resident Evil game to date. It was my favorite back when it was released on PlayStation, and it is my favorite now that it was remade. Now, I purchased it and played the remake day one on the Xbox One X, but I'm tempted to go back and play this amazing game now that it has the Xbox Series patch. I'm just not sure about it because, like I said, I don't really like to go back and play games I've already played. I don't know, I'll have to check my back catalog and see if there's any games that I'd rather play than this one. So big congrats to Capcom. Hopefully they have learned from their Resident Evil 3 mistakes, and Resident Evil 4 ends up being another 10 million unit seller. So to continue with the news, there is a game that released a while ago for PC and Switch, but didn't really have a big following. That is Until Now. The game that I'm talking about is Hypercharge Unboxed, which is now making waves with its exciting PR ever since they teased an Xbox release. In this game, you play as an action figure inside a toy world. One of the levels even looks like it's inspired by Toys R Us. And for some of you, I know you might not really know Toys R Us, but I grew up as Toys R Us being my main toy store as a little kid. So that's really cool to see. Now, I know they have a PvP mode and a 4-player co-op horde type mode. And I know there's other modes, I just don't know very many details because I have not played this game, but I am excited for it. The developer has said that they are adding more content to the game for the Xbox release, which they hope is in early 2023. To stay up to date on news about Hypercharge Unboxed, they highly recommend you sign up for their newsletter at signup.playhypercharge.com. Again, I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. Now, if you're a Skate fan, then I have some info for you. This week, IGN put out an article with info on the game known as Skate 4. The article was released on July 14th with the following info. The name of the game is Skate. It's free to play, cross-play and cross-progression, coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, so basically the main systems. The game is ever evolving, which to me means it will continue to get updates, and I'm assuming free and paid DLC instead of EA putting out a new version of the game with minor changes like they do Madden and FIFA. The game will also have no pay to win, no map areas locked behind a paywall, no paid loot boxes, and no paid gameplay advantage. So it looks like all the microtransactions will probably be for things like customization, like most games are doing nowadays. Overall, this game sounds good, and with it being free to play, I and a lot of others might give it a try since I've never really played skate games, so I'm unsure if I'll like it. Now we come to the negative side of the video, where I have to talk about 3 delays, but delays are a necessity. I mean, they only delay the game not to mess with us, they delay the game because they need some more time to fix things, and so to me, that's okay. So the first delay that I'm going to be talking about is one that hits me pretty hard because it was actually a game that I was looking to play, or an update that I was looking to play. And so the one I'm talking about is Sea of Thieves Season 7, which was scheduled to drop on the 21st of next week. So July 21st, it's no longer happening. It's fallen back to August 4th. So a couple weeks, it's not the worst thing. And to me, next week is going to be pretty busy anyways for me, so I'm not really that concerned with it. It just kind of sucks to, get hit with that delay. But I understand they have a lot of work to do, so therefore, hey, they let Rare do their thing. So Captaincy is the main addition in Season 7, where it'll be saving ship loadouts, naming your vessel, customizing your cabin, and much more. The way I look at it is if Rare needs more time to make this update good, then it's best they take that time. With the announcement of the delay, Rare also mentioned that the next adventure will be named A Hunter's Cry, and it'll start on August 18th. So I don't know how many of you are actually playing Sea of Thieves and actually trying to get in there and getting more lore from all of the adventures. I've played every one of them. I've completed every one of them. I didn't 100% all of them and get the title, but I have been doing that for a lot of the more recent ones, and I am putting out videos that basically just give the lore. So if you don't want to spend, an hour to 3 hours actually sailing the seas doing it yourself, and you just want to get that lore, you can actually watch my video where I kind of break down the content. You can kind of see the islands I visited, the characters I talked to, and things like that. So check that out on my channel if you're actually interested in it. The next delay is for how points upgrade to an Xbox Series S and X version. The game originally released on July 30th, 2020 for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and the Xbox Series version was planned to release on July 12th. And that has changed, but no update on the new targeted date. I'll obviously keep you updated once I hear about that, but it has been delayed. I haven't personally played this game. I have seen video footage of it, but maybe once the Xbox Series version releases, I might give it a chance. I mean, it doesn't look like a graphic showcase, but I have been playing a lot of indie games, and recently I have actually found some pretty fun games in there. So they might not look the best, but actually the gameplay is where it's at, and to me, that's what I want. I want that gameplay. That's what I'm expecting, is to get good gameplay if the visuals aren't wow, and if the visuals are wow, I'm still expecting that good gameplay. So for those of you who have played or owned Hellpoint for the Xbox One, the good news is that the DLC, Blue Sun, still released as scheduled on July 12th. So you go ahead and check that out if that's a game that you're interested in. And if it's something that you're kind of interested in, now that I brought you up to speed on the story of this, you can still play it on your Xbox Series because it is backwards compatible. Now the last delay that I'll be talking about for the week is for Immortality. We got word this week that Immortality has been delayed by about a month and it is now releasing on August 30th. This is classified as an interactive movie trilogy about uncovering a mystery of, I believe, a killing. So, something that seems interesting, and it is releasing day one on Game Pass. And it usually doesn't seem like my type of game, but putting it on Game Pass makes me willing to give it a try to see if it's actually something I would like. Now after delays comes some bad news. Now this bad news doesn't really affect, I guess, us for the most part, but I still wanted to bring it up because it still is bad news. I mean, any company getting hacked is not good news, no matter if details come out about games. You know what? To me, I believe let them give out those details when they're ready to give out those details. But the game company that I'm talking about is Bandai Namco. They have confirmed that they were hacked on July 3rd. They are currently still investigating the extent of the damage, what was taken, what was blocked, what the hackers have access to, but only time will tell what these hackers have obtained. Now let's move on to some good news. Rumbleverse is a game that has been in early access for a while, but most people didn't get the chance to play it since the servers are only on during certain times, which for me is during my work hours. Well, I have some good news. Rumbleverse Season 1 will begin on August 18th. Now this game looks like a lot of fun. The city is your battlegrounds. The goal is to knock out your opponents by performing moves that look like they came straight out of WWE Monday Night Raw. This game will be free to play, which means I'll be there day one. Let me know in the comments, are you excited for this game? Alright, now we're moving on to the next section, which I named Upcoming Updates. So this is for the big updates that are coming next week to make you aware so you kind of plan ahead for it. And so the first one that I'm talking about is the Forza Horizon 5 DLC pack number 1, which is Hot Wheels. Now I never got around to playing the Hot Wheels expansion for Forza Horizon 3. I never even really played Forza Horizon 3. I got into the series in Forza Horizon 4, but I have always heard great things about it. And I did love the expansion in Forza Horizon 4, the Lego expansion, and I'm sure a lot of other people enjoy those type of expansions. Well, this expansion will be included with the Ultimate Edition of Forza Horizon 5 or for those who purchase the Ultimate Upgrade. Now it is paid DLC even if you have a subscription to Game Pass Ultimate. Now if you do have Game Pass, you can always upgrade it. I think it's like maybe anywhere between $30 and $50 you can upgrade to get the full expansion for this game. So something that you might want to check out if you're into this type of game. To me, I feel if you're a Forza Horizon 5 player, this is a must-have. Now with this expansion comes the opportunity to increase your gamer score by 500 with 28 new achievements. This is the positive for those hunters like myself. And then the next big update is for Halo Infinite. I did a video on this, but it is the second narrative event called Alpha Pack, which starts on July 19th, so the same exact day as the Forza Horizon 5 DLC. Now this event will run for 2 weeks and will have a free 10-tier event pass, which includes that Morgan helmet for the Rashaka armor core. Now again, if you do want more info on the items that you can obtain in this event pass, I did post a video a week ago, and I will go ahead and leave a link in the description. Now we're up to Missed Gems. And what this section is, it will be a section that I will post a game that I really feel is a hidden gem that some people might know about, but a lot of people might have just kind of skipped on because it doesn't look like the greatest game, but it is a whole lot of fun. So this game is still available on Game Pass, so there's no reason for you not to check it out. I mean, give it a chance. At most, you just go ahead and delete it after 5 minutes of play. It did win a Game of the Year award, and the game that I'm talking about is It Takes Two. It is a game that you see playing on screen in between stories right now. Overall, the story is simple but meaningful, but the gameplay is where it excels. It is a 3D platformer with puzzle elements. The downside is it does require a second player in order to play, but it can be done as couch co-op or online. So if you know somebody else who has Game Pass, or you have a family member in that room with you, 2 controllers, you go ahead and get down and play this game. It's a lot of crazy fun. You have to really work together, and those are the things that I think make it really fun, is that working together part. There's not a lot of games that are like this or can bring it together so nicely. So again, I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't tried it. Give it a chance. It's way better than it might seem. Now for the rumors and leaks. Now I count this as a leak even though the info comes from a job listing. But sometimes job listings could be copy and pasted without being updated, so that's the reason why I'll still leave it as rumors and leaks, because it hasn't actually been announced. So the job listing reviews that Respawn Entertainment is working on another game on top of Jedi Fallen Survivor and their live service shooter Apex Legends. The listing says that the job is for an unannounced game set in the Apex universe. It is a single player game, so my hope is that it's Titanfall 3, since Titanfall 2's campaign was great. And for those of you who don't know, Apex Legends and Titanfall take place in the same universe. This game is, quote, an incubation title, so don't expect anything for some time, and this game could even be scrapped. But I find that very unlikely because Respawn is an amazing studio who creates amazing games. So next up, according to an article on Gaming Bowl and other so-called insiders, Red Dead Redemption 2 was going to have a PS5 and Xbox Series version like Rockstar had done with Grand Theft Auto 5. But the project was canceled so that the team could help out with Grand Theft Auto 6. So as much as I enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 2, I have already played it, so I wouldn't go back and put in a bunch more hours to play the current gen version. If this is true, I might sound selfish saying this, but I'm glad that they've chosen to work on a new game instead. Especially Grand Theft Auto 6, which we've all been waiting many years for. Now the last leak I have for you is a new Banjo Kazooie game might be in development, and I know there has been rumors for a long time that a new one has been in development, and obviously they haven't been true, but this is coming from a trusted source. So according to Reset Errors insider Nate Drake, who has a lot of insider info, there is a new Banjo Kazooie game in development by Sumo Digital, which are the developing team behind Sackboy: A Big Adventure on PlayStation. I believe that game came out as a PS4 and PS5 game. But Sumo Digital has also worked with Xbox on games like Forza Horizon 2 and Crackdown 3. Now I know a lot of people hate on Crackdown 3, but did you actually give it a chance, or are you going off of what other people are saying? Because I personally enjoyed Crackdown 3's campaign. It was the multiplayer that was lacking in my opinion. So all in all, I feel Banjo is in good hands if these rumors are true. So that is all I have for this week. If you want to stay up to date on Xbox related news, then hit that like button and consider subscribing. Until next time, enjoy gaming. Assassinator out.